Right, so I have got one camera, which is my phone, which is this one. I've got one set up from the front, and I've also got a macro lens here to take close-ups of anything that I might need to, but this thing takes a while to focus, because that's just how macro lenses are. In fact, usually I run this on manual. There you go. Now, before we start, I'm going to show you the box. That's fascinating, isn't it? And also the actual hot end. Yeah, this is why I tend to shoot macro lens stuff on the phone, because, yeah, there you go. And everything's in there, so hopefully it's just a case of unscrewing something and plugging, what, 3 plugs? So first thing first, this should come off, and it does. And there's no reason to try and do anything other than just stick it there. We've got 2 screws there, and it looks like the wires route up here. This might be pretty simple, actually, famous last words. We've got wires coming up that way, going somewhere, and we've got wires coming up here to this. The hardest part is probably finding the right Allen key. Oh, by the way, I absolutely hate these Wera ones. I'll show you these. After that video, I thought I would, when I say that video, those of you who know, I made a video taking, well, making fun of the Wera Allen keys, and everyone, not everyone, a select number of people yelled at me saying that I didn't know what I was talking about, so I actually bought some. Do you know what? They're terrible. I'll tell you why they're terrible. First of all, right, and this is off topic, but it's on topic, you can't get them out of this thing. You have to pull them, and also you have to turn each one individually to allow... Right, I'll show you. Yeah, we're going there, right? I just want to get, like, the green one. I can't get the green one. I have to turn the purple one out of the way. I have to turn the yellow one out of the way. I have to turn the orange one out of the way. And then it's really stiff. You know, it's like, you don't have time for this. You just want to get the screw out. Second of all, they have this stupid sleeve on them that stops them going into holes, so they don't fit where they should. And third of all, the tips are not that great. I mean, the ones I had on my cheap keys were actually better fitting. These are not like some kind of supreme, amazing material. These are cheap. They just cost a lot. But yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them. I think I wasted, like, I think, were they £28 or something? This is just unscrewing these 2 screws. Nothing particularly spectacular going on here. Now, I have to say, while we're in a ranty mood, there's a magnet down there, so I'll stick them on the magnet. I have to say that, broadly speaking, changing nozzles should not be this much of a hassle. Not that I'm saying that this is a hassle, but, you know, the fact that you have to even bring out tools for a machine of this caliber, it should be easier. Right. Because you've got things like, I don't know, I mean, I'm not a fan of Revo. Okay, I am going to, because this is, it goes down. It goes down. There we go. Do you see that? I'll try and, it's like there's a front piece and it slots in because it's thinner than the, so it leaves behind, yeah, words. I don't have words. Right, that makes more sense now. And then there's a little cable guide here. And then actually, no, we've got that plug there, that plug there, and that plug there. And I might as well point the macro lens. I've got to get it in here. Point the macro. There's not much room to work in this machine. Yeah, we've got that plug there. We've got another one here. Point to it with the stinky Allen key. We've got another one here, and another one here, and those 3 have got to come out. They are just sort of like your JST, so just pull them. You shouldn't pull the cables, you should pull the plug, but in practice that's really hard to do, so I tend to, on a big one like this, you can get your fingernails around, but on the little ones, you have to pull the cable. You've always got to be careful, because this bottom one actually has a little catch that you can push down. Yeah, there's a really small catch on the top there that you have to push down on that one plug. Right, that is out. So we now have, and the thing is, one thing I do like is that you don't have any mess here. I haven't even had to, I brought gloves to the party, but I haven't had to use them because there's nothing you're not dealing with any of the compound, thermal compound or anything like that. So that could go down there. New one, and it's a different colour. I think I don't know if you can see that. They look the same colour on the phone screen. One is black, one is grey. I'll show the other camera. Yeah, one is black, one is grey, so the 0.2 is grey. There is no 0.1, as far as I'm aware. That just goes in, so yeah, it's not too hard, is it? Just stick it in there. Route the cables. Probably yelling into this microphone, but yeah. Stick that on there, so you can hear the ASMR cable routing. I'm sure that's amazing. Right. So a lot of the time people assume that I'm useless at things, and it's just because I can't see what I'm doing because the cameras and the lights are in the way. So that has to go in there somehow, and it's not as easy as it seems because it wants to twist the other way. There we go. And then the last one, presumably, that's the heater wire. My macro lens camera is full, so it's a good job I finished this. This is going to be really hard to tidy up, in fact. Oh, there goes the microphone. This is going to be really hard to tidy up because the hardest part here is actually the routing of these wires. So of course you're going to get all three, go behind this tiny little catch thing without stripping any of them. There. Right, so it's just a matter of, okay, put the screws back in. Yeah, and that's another problem with this thing. I mean, okay, it was the one I bought, it has like the rounded ends, but even so, yeah, the cheap ones would hold that. You can moan at me in the comments about the Weira keys. I'm not going to buy it. I have other Weira tools and they are great, but I just don't get the hype because you can buy tools that are just as good or better for the same or less money. Although it is quite cool because some of the cases hold the bits where you kind of snap them in, and they do kind of think things through like that, and that's quite nice. But that's done. That was easy. I didn't even break anything, at least I don't think so. We should probably try it before I get too excited. After changing the nozzle, it's always a good idea to do a calibration of the bed next time you do a print. I don't know if they actually want you to do a full calibration. I suppose you could. It's more a case of making sure the Z offset is correct, which this will do. At least I hope so. And yeah, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, that seems to be doing the calibration lines perfectly well. I think we have successfully managed to change the nozzle here, but we'll let that print finish and we'll see what happens. Well, that clearly worked then. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why would I do this and not just buy a nozzle, which is like half the price? And the answer is twofold. First of all, when you buy a nozzle, your machine is actually down while you change it, and that involves having to remove all the internals here, which, okay, isn't that bad, but this has also got like the heatsink compound on it, and it's messy and it takes time. And if you've got two different size nozzles like I have here, I want to swap between them, and I don't want to waste thermal compound each time. So it does make sense. And I think having two nozzles of each size is probably the way to go anyway, because if you do want to swap the actual nozzle, then you want to do that in your own time, not while you've got the machine in bits. By the way, I think that the lighter grey nozzles are stainless steel and the black ones are hardened steel, but I really can't find the answer to that. I'll probably ask Bambu next time I speak to them, but I think that's implied because the P1S came with it's kind of a silver colour, and the X1 Carbon came with the black, and yeah, you can figure out the rest yourselves. Anyway, subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. That's it. Thank you for watching.